Hi, everybody. It's Mrs. Hinckley again. And you must have gone to the assignment for this week's online encyclopedia review. And then you probably clicked on the video. And here we are. We are watching a video that I'm creating so that you understand how to do this week's assignment. And from this website, let's read some of the information that appears. In this lesson, we will review the use of a reliable online encyclopedia, Britannica School. Our library subscribes to Britannica School through the New York State Library. Britannica is a publishing company known for its reliability. We can trust the information we find in this source. Remember, when researching a topic, it's best to start with reliable sources of information like library books, encyclopedias, and online library databases before doing a general web search. Follow the lesson below in numbered order, please. Let's move on and be digital detectives and take a look at the activity.
And you'll notice that there are steps to this that highlight this assignment, 1, 2, and 3. Step 1 is to watch the video you're currently watching to learn how to access Britannica School from ClassLink. Now, step 2 tells us to open a new tab and then click on the Chrome browser's home button to open ClassLink. That's, of course, if you don't already see ClassLink open at the top of the screen. Here's the ClassLink little icon that you'll see. You also may have the Google Classroom open, and we also now have my web page open. So this is about learning to manage multiple tabs. If, for example, you do not have the ClassLink tab available to you, open a new tab and then click on the home button right next to the address bar in the Chrome browser. That will take you to a sign-in for ClassLink. Once you sign into ClassLink with your username and your school password, then what you will do is come to the opening menu. Mine looks a little bit different than yours just because as a teacher I have a few more options available to me, but you will see that everybody has a link that takes you to Britannica School. As we mentioned, Britannica School is an online encyclopedia resource that we have access to through the New York State Library. It's a very reliable source of information, and we're going to review how to use it today. When you click on Britannica School from ClassLink, you'll also notice that it opens a new tab.
All of the questions that I'm going to ask you to answer can be answered in the elementary section. You guys are kind of hovering between these two sections right now, but I made sure we could answer everything in the elementary section. So click on that to open the elementary level Britannica School Encyclopedia. And here we are. Now, it looks a little different. They did an update while we were on our quarantine, but it looks good. And you're going to click on the search to look up a topic. Maybe you're trying to answer a question about New York State. So I'm going to type in New York State and click on the magnifying glass to do our search. All right, let's look at our results. It found 2,138 results for New York State. That's quite a few. We're looking at the elementary level encyclopedia, so we're at reading level 1. And we're going to look at articles, not the images, videos, or more. Here are the articles titles that it found. It found an article titled New York State in the U.S. It found an article titled New York City. Well, that's not really what we're looking for right now. Erie Canal, and so on. The most relevant search result should appear at the top. If not, look down about 5 to 10 of the results that came up at the top of the list and see if anything looks related. If not, you might want to consider redoing your search. Now I'm going to click on the title New York, and it will take me to that particular article. Notice that it has an introduction. It has sections labeled geography, people, economy, and history. And those are all very helpful. It also has the section, see the table, New York profile. When I do that, I get some of the basic statistics about the state of New York. So you can see the capital, the population, the total square miles, and so on. That can be a useful, quick source. All right, now I would read to see if any of the information in here answers any of my trivia questions about New York State. Here's a neat little did you know fact. 4 U.S. presidents, Van Buren, Cleveland, and both Roosevelts, have been governor of New York. There are some interesting pictures to look at, but most importantly, you need to read the information available here in the article itself. Now, if you were being asked to cite your sources, which will happen fairly soon, notice the menu over to the right, you have the option to cite your source. When you click on that, it opens up a citation that's already made for you to cite this in MLA style. That's the style we're going to be using. Notice when you click the down arrow, there are additional styles of citations that you can use. We're going to use MLA, and then all you would have to do to record this for a bibliography or a work cited would be to highlight everything and copy it. And then you'd be prepared to paste that into, for example, a Word document or a Google Doc. So now that I can see how I would cite my sources, I can just get out of that particular area and come back and read about the state of New York. When I'm ready to do a new search, I can come up here to the search bar and type in another topic. For example, maybe I'm interested in libraries. When I do that search, I see it gives me a definition of library, and there are 97 other results. All right. So that's how we're going to use the encyclopedia. Now, what questions are we going to answer? You're going to leave that tab open at the top of the screen.
I would like you to look back at the tabs you have open on the top of your browser and return to the web page that I designed for the assignment called Online Encyclopedia Review. We're doing step 1. We've done step 2 now. And step 3
says, click on the link to open the Google form with your trivia scavenger hunt questions. Use the encyclopedia to look up the answers to the questions on the form. Have fun. So click here. Notice this is the last step. And the next is just a tip that talks about moving back and forth across the tabs. I'm going to click here to look at the Google form that has your questions in it. Let's read this one together. Encyclopedia Trivia. Let's review how to access and use the online encyclopedia, Britannica School. Look up the answers to the questions in the Google form using Britannica School and complete this activity. Remember that the information in an encyclopedia published by a company with a good reputation is very reliable. Remember to be a research detective, and your best tool is reading. Although points have been given for each question, there will not be a grade issued for this activity. Try your best and enjoy. Next, you're going to click on the next button and begin to answer the questions. You'll enter your last name, your first name, and your teacher's last name. And then you'll click on next, and you will see the questions you need to answer. Let's enter my own information as if I were the student. My teacher's name is Hinckley, and I click on next. And now I see the questions. How long is the Mississippi River in miles? All right, there are some multiple choice answers to choose from. Now I go back up to the elementary search, and I'm going to look for Mississippi River. I find an article, and I begin looking through the article and its tabs to see if I can find the answer. I don't want to give it away. All right. So that's how you're going to go about this activity. When you finish and you find your answer, write it down on your scrap paper, come back into your trivia Google form, answer it, and move on to the next question. At the end, you'll submit all of your answers, and then you'll go back into your Google Classroom and mark this assignment or activity as done. Thank you. Have fun. Remember, the online encyclopedia is an extremely valuable tool. See you soon.